T1K, can you tell me, like you always told me before?
Sure, Anthem, sure. Just look over there so you can almost see it.
Oh, okay, yay!
Yeah, you're gonna revolutionize the gaming industry, even beating Destiny. With features like no other.
Ooh, and talk about my combat and my flying, yeah.
Yeah. Smooth combat with some of the best flying there is. Really gonna blow up.
I'm just so excited. I'm going to be such a fun game. And, nothing can stop me.
Anthem is a game made by BioWare and Electronic Arts. With its AAA status, it was backed by around $100 million and years of development, yet despite these major names and massive budget, as of the release date of this video, Anthem has been permanently shut down after nearly 7 years of its live development. So, this begs the major question: what happened to Anthem? To find out what really killed Anthem, we need to dive into Anthem's beginnings, its major letdowns, its positives, and what this means for our future. Anthem's development started in 2012 under the codename Dylan because BioWare believed Anthem to be the Bob Dylan of video games. Funny how it ended up being more like his song They Killed Him, with EA pulling the trigger. Anthem's original pitch was for BioWare to shift to a more live service model with microtransactions similar to FIFA, which, roughly translates to about, f you guys, give us more money. The same guy that pitched that idea later decided to up and leave the company, stating that the game was in a good enough place to continue without him, marking Anthem's equivalent to the first sin ever committed. What followed was nothing short of development hell, as the team was put on other games, stories was put on pause, and major gameplay problems all leading up to the eventual deadline of the game. With the game in shambles, EA basically told BioWare to lock in, as the initial 2018 deadline had been pushed all the way to 2019, so the team was under major stress to put out something that legally looked like a video game, and leading to its eventual. Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast of E3 2017. I'm John, and we are just now hearing of a world-first premiere of a new game developed by BioShock. Let's tune in. Wow, what a riveting-looking game. I sure can't wait for it to... Oh, wait. I'm hearing that we have John 2 inside of the game right now. Hey, John, how's Anthem looking like? You know what? Let's see that beautiful marketplace I saw in the trailers. I mean, it's a marketplace, I guess. Oh, well, what about that floating island we saw? That just looked beautiful. Yeah, can we get It's a mountain now. Oh, well, we can't... Actually, I made a full list of everything I found wrong with the game. The crowd density is drastically small. The details in our home base make the area feel much more bland and empty. The striders don't actually move. This animation doesn't exist. Wildlife won't interact with you. This NPC doesn't exist. This location has been drastically changed. The entire world feels much smaller. Gunshots don't actually reflect on water. Any mission mentioned in this video doesn't actually exist, and the overall lighting for the game looks a lot worse compared to the demo. Overall, this game is a bare-bones state of what is promised to us. Back to you, John. Anthem debuted to an overall disappointing launch with major gameplay problems like infinite loading screens, constant game crashes, and faulty servers. And it gets even worse. With overall reviews for the game coming in to about a 5 out of 10, EA and BioWare were on extreme damage control, which only caused more problems. While patching these bugs, only more problems arose with game crashes and loot drop problems, with one update famously breaking loot drops altogether, which caused major outrage. The terrible repairs persisted for a whole year before eventually being in a decent playable state, but by then the damage was already done. With the active player base looking more like a cliff than an actual player chart, Anthem's version of matchmaking ended up being just logging in and seeing the same 3 people you saw yesterday. For the few players that actually stuck around despite all the gameplay flaws and bugs, they were left with an okay story that on the surface had a great idea, but was delivered in a really bland way. Not to mention the extremely disappointing ending. With all their immediate attention set on fixing the game, they left no time to grow the game. So instead of making all the content that was promised to us, they were instead working on making the game the bare minimum of what it should have been at launch. Players that actually beat the game were left to repeat bland objectives over and over again in hopes of better loot, but with no real payoff. So with all these complaints from players and reviews and all the gameplay problems, EA and BioWare had to do something.
It's sad to see so much potential.
Yeah, and to think he was supposed to replace me.
A year after the game's release with no new update of any kind, EA announced Anthem Next, or commonly known as Anthem 2. This new Anthem wasn't just some bug fix or quick update, no. This was a full game rework. Well, at the time, fans didn't really know what that means. They speculated whether or not this meant a full brand new game with a new price tag or just a whole complete overhaul. But only time would really tell. And tell it did. A year after the announcement, with tons of hype within the small Anthem community, EA and BioShock finally announced that Anthem Next has been canceled. But that's not all. They went on and to further comment to say, live service for the current game has also been canceled. Yep. That was the end of Anthem. After only about 2 years of its live service, Anthem would receive no new updates or further content. There was a small team left behind to fix minor server issues and small bugs like that, but otherwise the game was completely abandoned. This was rock bottom for the game, with surely no way of it getting any worse. From 2021 to 2024, there was almost complete silence about Anthem from anyone, with only barely a few players left, except for a few dedicated people. But that was all, at least until one fateful day. On July 3rd, 2025, EA announced that Anthem servers were being sunsetted on January 12th, 2026, to make room for other games. But with Anthem being an online-only game, that meant that on that day, or at the time of this video, Anthem would become completely unplayable. With the game having absolutely no offline support, you can't even launch the game anymore. And when they announced this, they also disabled the game from all online stores and got rid of the in-game currency, so this marked the absolute death of Anthem. I was a big fan of Anthem. When I was a kid, I loved the game, and I didn't care about the bugs or gameplay problems or anything like that. No, I just loved being this crazy, powerful character that could fly around and save the day, you know? I stopped playing the game for whatever reason, you know? I moved on to other stuff, but not out of disdain like some people. But recently, I re-remembered the game and decided I wanted to buy it again. But to my dismay, I found that I couldn't buy it on any of the online stores. So I ended up finding a digital code for the game at Walmart for $2 US. But unfortunately, when I booted up the game on Christmas, I found that I had 2 weeks left to play the game I loved as a kid before it'd be gone forever. I'm not really mad that the game is gone, you know, but I'm kind of scared for what that means for the gaming industry. The people making these games don't care about the average consumer anymore. I mean, if they're not filling their pockets with more money than your average Walmart employee, then what's the point, right? It has become extremely obvious that gaming has declined throughout the years. I mean, these big corporations care less about making a game worth your money, but more about how much they can get out of you after the fact. And I can go off on that too. NBA 2K originally focused on its gameplay and offline modes, but switched up in favor of more microtransactions to make the game less frustrating. FIFA has yearly releases with very low improvements, but oh boy, do they sure push hard for its gambling. Overwatch dropped its highly requested story mode in favor of more digital skins and items, with one thing costing more than the real-life version of it. Call of Duty has famously dropped its iconic military shooter personality in favor of more Fortnite-like skins to scrape people's monies. The Crew, a manly single-player racing game, mind you, that got discontinued in 2024 because it was an online game, just like Anthem, another game cut dry from our consumer hands in favor of more profits. And I'm sure you can name a ton more. Publishers should not be able to lie to our faces. I mean, their power to manipulate a game on a whim not only affects us, the consumer, but the people behind the game that are actually passionate about what they put out. It's heartbreaking seeing the games we loved and cherished either vanish or be reshaped by people purely for profit. This isn't just about nostalgia, it's about the future of gaming as an art form. I mean, if publishers continue to prioritize money over creativity, fun, and the people who actually care and love these worlds, then we risk losing something a lot bigger than just one game. Anthem is gone. I mean, the heroes and the grand adventures we dreamed of becoming vanish at the whim of profit. You don't deserve cheaply made entertainment that's made to just drain our wallets. You deserve games that last. But at the end of the day, I'm just a guy on your screen. I know I'm getting extremely off topic with all this stuff, but I believe this is something people should protest. Stop buying cheaply made products and invest in indie developers and games with a heart and soul and not some grand profit in mind. Then and only then would bigger corporations be forced to change. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Anthem? Do you think gaming's at a good place right now? And what other games would you like me to cover? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to talk about it with you. And thank you so much for watching.